Should we all be afraid when TikTok is banning us from talking about Osama bin Laden? You can't tell us what Osama bin Laden said. The reason I know what Osama bin Laden said is because I took an independent study with a guy who used to teach generals about Saddam Hussein. He wrote a book about Saddam Hussein. He's a military guy, and he was best friends with the head spy to Israel. And the reason I knew he was the head spy to Israel is because I met a military guy like 10 years later who told me, oh, you know someone that does that job? That's the head spy to Israel, or that's the head spy to that country. And so clearly we can change the name of the head spy. Osama bin Laden said that he attacked us on 9/11 because we give money to Israel and Israel kills so many people and they enslave the Palestinians. And he said that they attacked us on 9/11 because we killed so many civilians in Iraq during the first Gulf War, like George Bush's dad. And I feel like probably the reason that I had the FBI show up at my door connects to like my belief that George Bush should be hung for war crimes because he murdered so many people. And he used the government to do he lied in order to do evil stuff. And like we've decided that George Bush is an acceptable person, and I don't think he's acceptable. And there are questions about me. Like I think that people decided that I'm a terrorist now because like I've decided to be on the Palestinian side, and the reality is that all the Christians in Israel are basically Palestinians, and like the Israelis, you don't get the way that Israel is. It's like I would never live there. And that's the thing about me, like I'm back. Muslims clearly like, I want you to follow me. Like, let's do a new Jerusalem. Like once we conquer Israel, we can do the language that I'm developing deep, and it's Arabic and English combined. And it's like a middleman language. And you want to talk about a real language, that's a real language. Hebrew's a made-up language that's made up around like making sure that I can't read my Bible. And the fact that like no one believes that that is a bullet point or a period is like crazy to me. I think it's a bullet point. Like I've thought about it. I use bullet points all the time. I'll see like 4 periods before a bullet point that's inside of a bullet point, and then they'll skip the bullet point, and then they'll use Kai and as but. And all I'm saying is like there's something about like lying to me that much and like censoring that much, and now like we're not allowed to even like talk about what Osama bin Laden said. No, that's too offensive. That's too offensive. Don't tell us about what that guy said. Isn't that like the most interesting thing you can ever learn about? Like if you're someone that like your entire life was changed by 9/11, we can't talk about 9/11. Like, and that's why it's like, wow, I have to like apparently like not understand what's going on at all ever, because I think that like I can like have a little bit of free speech over here. I don't know about Snapchat. I'm wondering if I can talk on Snapchat and like I can tell you about like my life. Like let me just like talk about stuff, because it's pretty crazy when you realize that they're like hiding the death date of Isus, and then they changed his name from Josiah to Yeshua. And if you meet a Jewish person, they'll never know what Yeshua is unless they're like hanging out with Jewish Christians, apparently, because they like, because like you know that Jesus' name meant Joshua, and it turns out that's Yehoshua, but they've never heard the word Yeshua ever. So it's not even a Jewish name, it's a made-up name. And his name was freaking Josiah, the like Lord of Nazareth. He's basically a king, because clearly like if Kyrie is like Lord of like, for the Lord of Egypt, for Ramses, then clearly that's a king. If the prophecy is about a king named Josiah, like getting the like resulting in the Levite priest's death on the 15th, that's what the prophecy is about. I'm in love with Lizzie Grant, and that's the reality about that. And I feel like it's been a very, very long, difficult process, and I didn't understand the situation. And like, if you don't know me, I'm polyamorous. Like, I am in love with more than one person. Katy Perry, Taylor Momsen, Lizzie, and Meg Myers. Lizzie Grant's Lana Del Rey. And like, I guess we're all musicians. I'm on SoundCloud too, Glass Roads, Crystal Streets. I used to be Vinox 7. That's like, I think all my songs are remastered. But like, everything I do is not about music anymore. I'm like, I don't even play, I can't play music. I got like hurt by the cops. Like when I was in jail, like they hurt me so bad, like I can't play music anymore. Like I like couldn't even type on my computer for a while there. So, yeah, it was a bad situation. So I went to jail for menacing because they said I threatened someone with a gun. Because menacing's always like you like point a gun at someone, but like if they charged me because I wrote a note and I didn't actually like threaten him. I said, please be careful like when you like if like because this guy came up to me and like faked like he was drawing a gun on me and it's hard to explain how like he did in my backyard. He like comes up to my edge of my yard, faces me and fakes like he's drawing a gun on me. Like he like had no reason to like face my yard. He like walks up to my yard and then they like say that I threatened him with a gun. And like the reality is that I didn't, there's no possible world in which I broke the law the way like I committed the crime, but then they wouldn't let me have a trial because like my lawyer said I was incompetent for trial. Like, and the incompetency stuff, if you read anything for the Supreme Court, it's all about like mentally retarded people or deaf people that can't communicate. But the Supreme Court's like all from the same like Catholic school in Washington, D.C., except for like they're all Jewish. And like they're all Catholic and Jewish, like all of them, 100%. Except for Neil Gorsuch, who is now a Protestant. All right, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but clearly like you can't like lie that much and you can't like censor the media. Like when I talk about like the things that these people do, like I'm talking about like they know you like the Palestinians, you wrote a book, they'll censor you so that you can't make money off your book, so you can't get your book, you can't publish your book yourself. Like you've sent out thousands of letters, query letters to get your book published that like is this incredible book about the Middle East. Like it's so funny. It's like perfect. My book is like, I think it's that good. It's called Cat Orgies, Terrorists, and Monks in the Middle East by John Alexander, but my name's Alex, but I'm John. Like I am John Alexander, Mormon. That's my last name, Mormon, like the religion Mormons, but spelled different. So I wrote the book about traveling around the Middle East, but it was about like trying to figure out how to like not be a Christian anymore because I rejected theism, but like it didn't mean I like fully rejected the Bible because I knew like I could accept John. Like I just like they lied so much like to cover up the situation that like it's hard to believe in Isus because like they burnt so many documents. It's like, why did they burn all the documents? Like it makes you wonder if this guy even existed at all. Like I start wondering if Socrates existed at all. And it's because like they deleted our language, which was Greek. And like Greek is so difficult now. My life's been hard for a long time. And like my life's scary. Like you want to talk about people wanting to kill you. Like you don't even know what it's like to have people want to kill you that much for that long. Like suddenly you're Isus and you're like, this is safer. Not safer. Like you don't even get like that they have all these texts that are hidden and stuff like that. That like they'll never let us read. Like that's their whole thing. Is like he'll never be able to read this until I can.